Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Why Mega Evolve. Now, earlier this week we talked about Mega Dugong, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Beheeyem. But before we get started, let me just give you guys a brief explanation of what this series is about. Now, every week I will be picking two Pokemon that either need a Mega Evolution, deserve a Mega Evolution, or I want a Mega Evolution for it. And this is based off my opinion alone, and no one else's. Now, if you guys do not like my opinion, then please post your opinions in the comment section down below about what would you keep, what would you change, and etc. And at the end of every video, we'll be telling you guys which Pokemon we're going to be talking about the following day. So with that said, here is Mega Beheeyem. Now, Beheeyem is a Pokemon that shouldn't, in my opinion at least, shouldn't be underestimated, because this thing actually hits very, very hard. Now, the reason why I say it hits very hard is because, for one thing, its special attack is at base 125, and secondly, it does get access to the ability analytic. If you don't know what it does, pretty much attack power, now it just says attack power, so I'm guessing both physical attack and special attack increases by 30% if the Pokemon is the last Pokemon to attack this turn. And with how slow Beheeyem is, this thing can hit so hard. Now, like I said, it's a Pokemon you wouldn't want to underestimate when it comes to competitive play. Now, as for does it need a Mega Evolution, I wouldn't say yes, but I wouldn't say no. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to actually give this thing a Mega Evolution by any means, because for one thing, its stats will get a buff, and another thing, it also will potentially be a lot more viable in competitive play. I can see this thing probably getting moved up to like UU if like anything, if this thing does get a tier change, if it receives a Mega Evolution like this. So, like I said, Beheeyem is a Pokemon that you guys shouldn't underestimate. Now, it's not necessarily a forgotten Pokemon, I would say, from 5th gen, just because I've seen this Pokemon so many times when it comes to its corrective tier. I don't remember what tier it's in. It's either in NU, RU, or PU. I don't really remember what tier it's in, because I don't really necessarily play low tier, unless I'm doing like random battles on Showdown, because it gives us random Pokemon, obviously. And the only time I actually had Beheeyem was, oh gosh, like maybe one time since I've been playing like random battles like throughout this week, and it literally put in the work. Like, Psychic does really hit hard when you use it on this thing, so in sense it wouldn't hurt to actually to receive a Mega Beheeyem. I think it would be pretty cool just to see like what its like design will look like, and also what changes would be made to this Pokemon, because I feel like it's such an underrated Pokemon, and if it receives a Mega Evolution, I can see this being a lot better when it comes to competitive play. So as you can tell from what I've done to its stats, I did increase everything except for its speed, because I felt like everything needed to get increased. Now, I left its speed alone, obviously, because there really is no reason for me to actually increase its speed, because it's still going to be like piss poor slow. So I decided to leave it alone, and also its other stats are not even half bad, so there really is no reason for me to actually decrease its speed stat to actually give more base points into the Mega stats, because like I said, they are not half bad. So anyways, for its physical attack, I increased it from base 75 to base 95. Now, Beheeyem, well, I probably will forget about this Pokemon's name. It's so hard to remember. But anyways, Beheeyem does get access to some good like physical type moves. Now, I know like increasing its physical attack really isn't all the best, because after looking at its like move pool, it doesn't really get access to a lot of good like physical type moves. I mean, this thing does get access to like Rock Slide, Giga Impact, Steel Wing. For whatever reason, this Pokemon gets Steel Wing. I remember posting this on a Facebook group. I was like, out of all the moves that Beheeyem gets, it gets access to Steel Wing. It's mind-boggling, but it gets access to like Facade, Rock Tomb. I mean, I can keep going and going, but like you kind of get the gist. I mean, like its main stab move that it gets that it is physical is Zen Headbutt. So if you want to run like a mixed Beheeyem, then it actually would work, because most of the time, like whenever like a Pokemon, like for instance Beheeyem, comes up against like a special defensive wall, like for instance Chansey, there really is no way to actually deal enough damage to actually get it down low enough to where you can outspeed it and knock it out in the next turn. So I feel like giving this thing a quick like physical attack buff would do it some good, because like I said, it does get access to Zen Headbutt, and I feel like Zen Headbutt would do a lot of damage to Chansey, for an example, as like a special defensive wall where like Beheeyem can get past. So like I said, I increased his physical attack stat, that way it can deal with like some of the special walls that this thing might come across, because like I said, it does get access to a couple of moves that can actually benefit with the attack buff that I've given it as well. Now for its special attack, I increase it from base 125 to base 165. Now obviously Beheeyem is a special attacker. It gets, like I said, it gets access to like Energy Ball, Charge Beam, Psychic, Shadow Ball. It does get access to Psyshock, excuse me, and it also does get access to Calm Mind. So if you want to like run a Calm Mindset, then there you go. Now I honestly thought that Beheeyem got access to Nasty Plot, and actually it does. It is an egg move, so if you want to run Nasty Plot over Calm Mind, then by all means. I mean, this thing is going to hit hard regardless, even if you don't want to run like Calm Mind or like Nasty Plot at all, because like I said, base 165 is going to be doing a lot of fucking damage to whatever this thing comes across, even for somewhat of like a special defensive wall. For an example, like Chansey, I can see this thing doing it like roughly around 25 to like 30% at most, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on the actual how much it would do, but I want to increase its special attack the most to base 165, because like I said, Beheeyem is a Pokemon that a lot of people sleep on, but it hits really hard, and even for a Pokemon with base 125 special attack, I want to increase it to base 165, because in that way this thing will be a lot more offensive and a lot more threatening when it comes to competitive play. And now for its physical defense, I increase it from base 75 to base 95. I increase it the same as its physical attack, because if I'm not mistaken, I was working on its other stats as well, and whatever I had left, I pretty much like put the rest in its physical attack and physical defense. And even though I did increase it the same to base 95, and honestly isn't all half bad. I always say this before, and pretty much in all my videos, that if any stat above base 80 or at base 80 or above is actually pretty decent, and with base 95 physical defense for a Mega Beheeyem, this thing will have some natural bulk behind it. I mean, its HP isn't all that great because it is at base 75 and maxes out at 354 if you have the correct IVs and also EVs as well, but besides the point, it does get it does have somewhat of a natural bulk behind it, and it will be potentially live a couple of physical hits, because this thing is a psychic type, and the only three moves or three typings that it's weak to is Dark, Ghost, and Bug, and all three of those moves do have physical attacking variants of that typing, like Bug Buzz, Shadow Snake, and Sucker Punch. So, or not Bug Buzz, Bug Bite. Excuse me. So, I mean, besides those typings, I can see this thing being like a Switch Initiative Pokemon, because it does have a little bit of natural bulk behind it. So, like I said, base 95 isn't all half bad. And for its special defense, I increase it from base 95 to base 115. Excuse me about that. Obviously, it has some natural bulk when it comes to its special defensive side. Like I said, it does get access to Calm Mind, so if you want to run like a Calm Mindset, then its special defense actually will be really sky high. I can see this thing, like I said, putting in a lot of work in probably the UU tier, but it does have to worry about Mega Absol and Absol itself, because Absol and Mega Absol is in the UU tier. Well, I think Absol is. I know Mega Absol is, but once again, base 115, it will have some natural bulk behind it as well, so it's not like it's going to be dying in one hit. And plus, like I said, it does get access to Calm Mind, so if you are afraid of that getting one shot by like a special move, you will have some, like I said, natural bulk behind it. And if I'm not mistaken, it does get access to Light Screen. I see Reflect. I don't. Oh yeah, I saw it. It does get access to Light Screen, so you can run Light Screen if you want to. So, anyways, as a regular Beheeyem, its base stats at 485, but with the Mega Evolution is going to be at 585. Now, for its ability, I know a lot of people are not necessarily going to agree with it, but I decided to give this thing Prankster. Now, like I said, a lot of people are not going to necessarily agree with it, and I probably should have left the analytic ability on Beheeyem. That way, it'll have a little bit of an increase of attack power boost when this Pokemon moves last. But I decided to give this thing Prankster because of how slow it is, because like I said, it does get access to like Calm Mind, Toxic, Thunder Wave if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it does get access to Thunder Wave. It gets access to the screens, so there's a lot of moves that this thing gets access to where it will work with Prankster, and I feel like Prankster will be a good ability for it, because in that way it'll make up for its speed loss or just of how slow it is. Because like I said, when it comes to me in competitive play, it like speed always matters. Like, I like to have speed control, because if I don't, then I feel like I'm gonna lose the game, just because like if your opponent moves first, then they have the better opportunity to actually knock out your Pokemon. So I feel like Prankster will make up for the speed loss that Beheeyem has because of how slow it is, being a base 40. So it does with getting access to Prankster, like it gets access to Barrier, the screens, Toxic, Thunder Wave. So it does get access to moves that can actually benefit this thing for being a very good Prankster Pokemon. And with how bulky it is, I can see this thing being a very, very good Prankster Pokemon alongside with like Sableye. I don't know who else is a Prankster Pokemon, because all I ever see is just Sableye. But you guys get the picture. I feel like Prankster is a very good ability on this thing. Now for its typing, I decided to leave it alone. Now at first, I always thought like Beheeyem was part rock, but it's not. Like the design, like obviously looking at it, it looks like it should be part rock and also part psychic. I was thinking about adding on the psychic type characteristics, but the one thing that kind of stopped me from it, and I probably have missed it, but if I did, oh well, is that it doesn't get access to ancient power. If it got access to ancient power, then I would have for sure made this thing part rock as well, because it does get access to Rock Slide, which is a physical rock type move that this thing can get stab off of. But like I said, it doesn't get access to ancient power, and if it does, then I probably missed it, or Cerebi. It's just not on Cerebi, because I like using Cerebi when I use these when I do these types of videos. But once again, I decided to leave it alone as psychic. There's really no reason for me to actually add on a typing besides rock, but since it doesn't get access to ancient power, I decided to just make this thing just neutral, or just psychic type in general. So with all that, there is Mega Beheeyem. So anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now like I said in I think last video, which was Dugongs, I think I said that I always kind of neglect 5th gen, but I want to like do a couple of 5th gen Pokemon, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be staying in 5th gen and talking about a Pokemon that I think is one of the funniest Pokemon ever made, and that is Stunfisk. So on Monday, you guys will get a Mega Stunfisk video, so stay tuned for that. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.